Hi everyone, I am here at The True Story. This one is by Meredith Paz, and it is called The Journey. I'm a big believer in having dreams and goals in life, but I know a young man who had a dream that I wanted to do everything in my power to stop. The man was Matthew, my firstborn child. As a boy, he got along well with his sisters, was responsible and trustworthy, always appeared on the honor roll, and never really did anything substantially wrong. He even received a $42,000 scholarship to a private university in his senior year of high school. My dreams for him were being fulfilled. But before going to college, Matthew had another dream. Take a gap year and travel internationally by himself. He wanted to do this using as few resources as possible and not always depending on a reliable or specific initiary. He also wanted to understand how people lived outside our hometown. My response was, "How will you survive? Why do you want to do this?" I feared for his safety. I feared for his life. But when your son is 19 years old and over 6 feet tall, he really can do anything he wants. After pleading with him not to go, I tried to reason him out of it. I told him all the reasons I didn't want him to go, but he didn't change his mind. Matthew left for his journey on the first day of that year. 5 minutes after saying a teary goodbye, I called a dear friend and told her what had happened. "You're going to have a story too," she said. "Ask God to give you a promise from the Bible every day and journal what he shows you." That day, God gave me this promise from Psalm 32:8. "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you." This verse became my prayer for Matthew over and over again. I prayed that God would instruct and teach him the way he should go, and that he would counsel and watch over him. That evening, I journaled. Today, I realized that for the past 19 years, my life has been nurturing this boy, protecting, helping, teaching, encouraging, challenging, stretching, paying for and praying for, feeding, guiding, and loving him. And now, Lord, you are his mother and his father. You will be the one to parent him because he is 100% out of my hands. When I woke up the next morning and realized this wasn't a nightmare but a reality, I became fearful again. Then I opened my Bible and found the promise in Isaiah 41:10. "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not anxiously look about you, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." I remembered something I'd heard a few months before. More than any other command in the Bible, God says, "Do not be afraid." It's what the angels told the shepherds. It's what Gabriel told Mary when he appeared to her and said she was going to bear a child. Things didn't quite go the way Mary had planned either, I decided. Each day, God gave me an encouraging word. Even when I was most afraid, God gave me a supernatural peace that couldn't be explained. Meanwhile, I told my family, friends, and moms in prayer group about Matthew's journey. They encouraged me to send out regular emails, sharing what I knew on his travels along with the scriptures. God was leading me to pray so they could pray with me. Soon Matthew had more than 50 families praying for him. I concluded from Psalm 139 that wherever Matthew was, God was with him. Even when Matthew was far, far away, God's hand guided him, and his right hand held him fast. Day by day and week by week, God answered specific prayers, from preserving Matthew's health while traveling through several foreign countries to providing extra resources that enabled him to continue his journey. Matthew returned home to our family in late August. After traveling about 9 months and more than 7,000 miles, he accomplished what he'd set out to do, and we came to feel proud of him for the courage and faith he showed on this great adventure. To say it was good to have him home is an understatement. Even though most people, including me, told him not to, Matthew followed his dream. 3 weeks later, he began classes at a university, and a few years later graduated. I went on a journey as well. I went from being full of fear to being full of faith. God spoke to me in promises. He led me by his word. When I asked him to direct, protect, and provide for Matthew, he did. Every day of the journey, I had a choice. Instead of dwelling on my feelings of fear, I learned to think about what I believed to be true. When God makes a promise, I can count on him to follow through. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. Psalm 32:8. Good night, guys.